close one down. But I presume my job is to sort of update you on what exactly is going on in Harrisburg on this issue, and I'm happy to do so. It's going to be very difficult to stop the momentum, all right? I do not believe that it is even possible at this point with the governor who has committed himself totally to fracking, has committed an administration to this, and who believes in his heart that this is the answer for Pennsylvania's prosperity. This is what he believes. I mean, we might not agree with him. I don't agree with him. But of course, that $1.5 million in contributions, campaign contributions from the industry can convince anyone, right? But he does believe it for whatever reasons. So I'm not sure that you're going to be able to stop fracking itself, but I do believe that you have the ability in the legislature, and you would have to vote to put restrictions on fracking, to impose a tax, to impose an impact fee, to get all the money that has been taken out of all these environmental funds put back into the fund. Okay? So I just want you to know, because some of you are going to believe, and rightfully so, and will fight your very best to stop fracking. Go ahead, do so. I mean, maybe it will happen. But I must tell you, with the billions of dollars that are at stake for these companies, the way the political system works in terms of contributions, all right, whether we like it or not, I mean, it'd be disingenuous if I wasn't direct, if I wasn't honest with you. I don't know how you're going to stop it. So my effort is in trying to make sure that if it's going to be done, it's going to be done in a way that protects Pennsylvania and the environment. Okay? And that doesn't mean that in any way that those who, because by the way, those who want to stop it, the more you talk, the easier it is for the rest of us to accomplish our aim of environmental healing and getting the money for the environment. Now, what are some of the possibilities and what are some of the pieces of legislation that are out there? But I should say one other thing. An argument that I haven't heard, before I tell you the legislation, that I've made, but I haven't heard the community opposed to Marcellus Shale make. And that is one that even the right doesn't know how to answer. It's the Pennsylvania Constitution. If you read Article 1, Section 27, you will find the strongest environmental statement in terms of protecting the water and in terms that it belongs to all of us of any state constitution in the United States. This was not put in the 1968 Constitutional Convention, where this was added. This was not put in some subsection in the middle of the Constitution. This is in Article 1, the fundamental rights of the people of Pennsylvania. Our inherent rights, it says. Our God-given rights, it says. And those rights include the right to a clean environment for us and it even goes as far as it makes a statement on sustainability, is for us and into the future. In fact, it makes it clear that it really belongs, that water and many of it belongs to all the people. I mean, so what you start to need to argue, and I have my Constitution, it should be in the car. If it's not, I don't presume most of you carry the Pennsylvania Constitution in your pocket. But I tell you, read it. Because when I've gotten in there with people on the right, politically, and I tell them, you guys are telling us to pay attention to the Constitution. Well, then read it. And because that's what you tell the rest of us to do. And when you read it, you will see that clearly what we're doing without appropriate legislation to protect the environment is not constitutional in Pennsylvania. Someone needs to take it to court, and I'm not sure they win or they don't. But what I'm trying to tell you is that It's amazing. In fact, in the 68 Constitutional Convention, remember that was the beginning of the whole environmental movement in the 60s, the beginning of the conversation. You know, we talk green now, we talk sustainability. Those weren't terms 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when I was just getting out of college that we threw around. Understand that it was also the beginning of the women's movement. So the two articles that were added was 27 on the environment and 28 in terms of equality of women and their rights. So we're always told we need a constitutional convention. We had one, and the convention made it clear that Pennsylvania stands up for the environment and for the rights of women. Now, what we have to do is make sure they enforce it. And again, just so you understand, this is not somewhere in the middle. This is it's 70 pages, this Constitution. I've managed to memorize most of it. Purposely, because people will challenge. They challenge you all day. But, Article 1 is there. In fact, it's included with the rights. Pennsylvania has had 4 constitutions, okay? The first one was before the U.S. Constitution. And in that, and some of the rights, if you remember, you don't have to quarter troops in your house. You have the right you have the right to freedom of speech, habeas corpus, all of these things. It's there. It was added in that category. And each time we do a constitutional convention, we add something. Right? So I hope, go back, read it, use it. And remind the legislators, and when you go to visit them, that they each stood up and took an oath to abide the Constitution of the to abide by and to respect, essentially, the Constitution of the United States and of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And in fact, what I just did with some people, and in fact, what's interesting, there are a couple of members of the state senate who are pretty far to the right. They understand this, actually. I'm not talking about the corporate right people. I'm talking about the people who are very genuine, like they're populists, but they're right-wing populists instead of left-wing populists. They understand this. So I took myself and Senator Palmer, who is pretty far to the right from Lebanon County, we both, to get this discussion going, introduced a bill that now says that with a constitutional amendment that adds to the Constitution, when you take your oath, you not only say you'll abide by it, but you say, now, I've read it, and I'll abide by it. We actually had considered doing something else. We considered making every member of the Senate and the House, before they could take their office, to take a test on the Constitution of the United States. But we knew that wouldn't work. I mean, it wouldn't work because we couldn't get it passed. But if district justice gets elected in an election, they have to take a test. I've known a couple around here who've taken 3 or 4 times the test before we can take their office. A coroner, which is an elected position, you have to take the test before you can be a coroner. So it's not a foreign idea within the context of Pennsylvania that a legislator would take a test. But we didn't think we had a chance of getting that through. And so we opted for this second option, which I think, Josh.
Hey, Josh.